Hi everybody, I'm Coach Julie with Pursuit Volleyball. We're going to teach swing blocking to a group of athletes. We have about 12 athletes here that are pretty new to the swing blocking concepts. So I'm going to go through kind of from the ground up, talking about the feet, talking about the footwork, talking about the hand postures. So we're going to kind of let the video run and let this be organic as our athletes are practicing in front of the video as well. Okay, so you guys come a little closer, try not to yell. All right, cool. So what we're gonna do on swing blocking, the first thing is we're gonna work on having our hips rotate and finishing our hands to the wall, okay? So when we're in blocking base, okay, and we're at the net, okay, we're always gonna start with our elbows in, our hands are high, right? So that's blocking base, just like we've always done as young athletes. If I'm a taller athlete, we teach you to go ahead and have your hands a little higher. One, so that I'm closer to the top of the net. If there's an overpass, I'm able to take that and make that wipe. And two, the other team thinks you're taller, okay? So if you're a smaller athlete, I would have you more here, so you just have a little bit more leg room to go ahead and push yourself up. But if you're a taller athlete here. So if I'm in my blocking base, the first thing I need to identify, is it over the net? Is it on the net? Is it off the net? Is the pass, okay? So if the pass is over the net, I'm gonna keep my hands up high, right? And jump and wipe or swing or whatever I'm gonna do, right? So I have to identify, is it over the net? If it's on the net, especially if the setter is front row, I'm gonna keep my hands high so that I can push, and maybe I have to defend against that setter. So if it's tight to the net, I'm gonna keep my hands up high as well, right? If it's off the net, or you can see that that pass is what we call an in-system pass, then I'm gonna take my hands and I'm gonna go here. Okay, see that? So if it's over or on, hands stay here in blocking base. If it's in system and or off the net or out of system, I'm gonna immediately drop my hands to here. So this is ready posture for a swing block. Okay, hands are here, and they're about that far from the net as well. When we move to the net, okay, if I'm gonna move to block that attacker, I will always move and try to get my hands and my body to that attacker. So as direct as I can. I'll never make a banana around. So I wanna go as direct as possible. That make sense? Good. Now swing blocking, I used to not really know that much about it. So I didn't like it. I didn't want to teach it at first, because in my mind, I thought the word swing blocking meant that, why would I swing my arms around and try to block a ball with one little moment of space, or one little moment of time, and try to have that timing perfectly where I swing my arms up and around. And I realized that as I don't know, grew my knowledge and investigated a little bit more, like Coach Bob. You guys remember Coach Bob at all? Coach Jesse, he kind of helped teach it to our program as well. But I was able to understand that it's not really swing blocking, it's athletic blocking. So it allows me to have a double elbow drive to jump, just like I would do a backswing in my step close. It'll be more like a double elbow drive, and then I can jump, and I can jump a little bit higher. So I kind of consider it in my brain like athletic blocking rather than, quote, swing blocking. If I reach around and swing out, I will block the ball out, okay? If I have to reach out and around, I would block that ball out of bounds, okay? What we do is, if I'm going to my right, I'll bring my hand and it goes straight up. It doesn't come up and around, it goes straight up there, okay? So, if I'm here at a 45-degree angle, I'm gonna work on rotating my hips, work on putting my thumbs up, my pinkies parallel, and I wanna have at least 16 to 18 inches width in my hands. We don't wanna be narrow, we wanna be wider. You'll naturally squeeze in if you need to. It's a lot harder to start narrow and then reaching out. That will happen on occasion if I'm closing and I can reach into that seam, but I would never reach out to outside my body line. Like, I would never reach to the antenna. If I was closing the seam, I can reach into a seam. So if I start wide, I can always kind of squeeze and protect that inner. But if I start real narrow, it's really hard to come out. That makes sense? And we want to go thumbs up, pinkies parallel. So I'm creating a wider distance, okay? A lot of times young athletes want to block like this because, coach, I'm higher, right? you're not blocking any balls off these fingertips anyhow. You know what I mean? You might feel cool and get a little touch, but you're not actually blocking any balls off that, okay? If I'm blocking, I would block off that meat part of my hands, right? Makes sense? So I want to try to cover as much distance side to side, so create those defensive lanes behind me, right? Rather than being narrow here. So when I come up, since we're on the wall, we're gonna let you guys go ahead and like hit the wall to like penetrate the net. When we come up, we wanna make sure that we always keep our hands in front of our face and we squeeze. So if I would take black Sharpie and Sharpie with like a big X on my hand, I should be able to see my hand go up. I should never go not see and then go back here. So imagine that I can see my hands and I can finish my hands here on the wall because we got the wall as a training tool. That makes sense? Okay. So I'm gonna start here with my hands in this ready posture, and I'm gonna do a double elbow drive here, okay? And then I'm gonna drive this hand, since my feet are facing this way, I'm gonna say my right hand is my dominant hand, my strong arm, and my right leg is my strong arm. So I'm gonna practice and just drive my double elbow here. Since I'm going to my right, this right hand here has to track and go straight up. It cannot come here and go around. Okay, if it goes around, I'm gonna reach out and I'll block the ball out. Okay, so I'm here, double elbow drive. I'm gonna rotate my hips and I'll finish and I go here. Okay, so I'm gonna double elbow drive here, double elbow drive here, double elbow drive here. I start loaded, double elbows, hand drags across here, and it goes up. That makes sense? Then I try this way, double elbow drive, and it tracks up here. So you see this hand goes directly from this hip. It doesn't go around, it goes from here to here and it goes up, okay? So double elbow, up, double elbow, up. Does that make sense? So that's phase one, okay? In a minute, you guys will go like this and start practicing that move of that hip turn, okay? So go ahead and spread out. Let's try that, okay? Quickly, fast feet, find a spot on the wall.
Everybody going to the right?
Good. Go, yeah, anyway, just go, try it. So start at an angle.
Yeah.
Start your feet here.
Yeah.
Like this.
Elbows here. Nope. Look at me.
Good, okay. So double elbows and back and turn. Good. Nice wide hands, good. Be direct and make our hands go straight up.
Yeah. Here.
So it's gotta go double elbow drive here, and then up here. Thumbs, pinkies. Thumbs up. Yes. Good. Good. Yes. Good.
We're not jumping yet.
All right. Time out. Just stay where you are, but listen to Julie. The reason we do double elbow drive is because I'm going to go ahead and have my hands closer to the top of the net. If I do a double hand like back, like a full backswing, simply my hands are now farther away from the net. So I'm getting the same effect with a double elbow, but my hands track to the top of the net quicker than if I go back, okay? So elbows, turn, thumbs up, pinkies parallel, okay? 30 seconds, go. Good. Good, thumbs up, pinkies parallel. Good. You can go ahead and slam those hands on the wall. There you go. Big. Be a big athlete. You don't want to go here. Elbow, double elbow, up, track, thumbs, pinkies, big. Double low cut, double, up, good. Good. 15 more seconds to live. Make sure this one goes up. That you don't go around. Okay, double, both elbows.